Call Halayim, Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Rakah Kadash, double honors to the elders and apostles of the great millstone who taught us this truth. All right, the elders of all Israel, Shalom and salutations to the hopeful elect, the brothers out there spreading the gospel throughout the four corners of the earth for sincerity and truth, and presenting their bodies as a living sacrifice as the scriptures teach us to do. Shalom to the very, very few sisters that do listen to us as well. This is the brother Yarmaya from the great millstone Chicago camp, basically coming to you with another lesson. And this lesson is concerning the viewpoints and the belief that false sense of hope that our people have navigated their thought patterns through the Bible in such a awful way. And you know, in a lot of our people, you have two types of our people. And when I say our people, I speak of the so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans, and the rest that were scattered abroad. The men of those seed that were scattered abroad that may look like the other nations. Because see, our people have these complexes with the Bible to where it is they related to a Christianity, you know, knowing we were force-fed Christianity, all right, at the edge of the sword during the times of hardcore slavery, but we were murdered if we were found reading the Bible. Or they have this thing where they relate the Bible to Christianity, so they think everything is a folklore, so to speak. So they get into Haru, Kemet, Taoism, Confucianism, Shamanism, and every type of ism, Islamism, you know, just stupidity, man, you know, because there's been a bad light shed on the Bible. But when we bring out the Bible, you know, like it says in Isaiah, the 8th chapter and the 20th verse, that's how you're supposed to bring out the Bible. You know, our people look at it crazy, but this is for us, man. And it's the most beneficial thing a Hebrew Israelite can get a person of so-called black, Latino, or Native American descent can get. The most beneficial thing we can ever get is the true understanding of this Bible, because it's ours, you know. But I'm gonna just get into the scriptures. This is Ecclesiasticus or Sirach 17 and 11. It says, besides this, matter of fact, I'm gonna read 17 to 10. He said, and the elect shall praise his holy name. Hey, that's one of the other the negative thoughts they teach toward the Bible, that you can call the Lord anything. The name of the Lord is Yahweh of the Father. The name of the Son is Yahweh Shai. You know, the scripture says there's one name given unto men, given unto heaven amongst men, well, which we must be saved. You know, but that folklore and those lies that tell you can call him by anything. Hey, if you call me Jerome, nigga, I ain't gonna answer, because that ain't my motherfucking name. How much more the Lord of hosts? All right. It says, Sirach 17 and 10, it says, and the elect shall praise his holy name. Besides this, he gave them knowledge and the law of life for a heritage. He made an everlasting covenant with them, and he showed them his judgments. So Yahweh Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai gave us this truth, the beneficial truth, you know, of this Bible, you know, and he only gave it to the so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans, the true Israelites of the Bible, the 12 tribes of Israel, and that was taken from us. You know, they put they butchered the Bible, man. You know, Esau has through his witchcraft, through his harlotries, through his social engineering, he has just tore, you know, the scriptures apart, man. You know, this is Deuteronomy. Matter of fact, let me get that. I think it's the 4th chapter. You know, Esau has just gave us a negative light toward the Bible. And, you know, it makes our people rebellious. But the scripture, you know, hey, this is the only way you're going to make it out of this hell which is to come. This is Deuteronomy 4 and verse 7. It says, what nation is there so great who have God? What nation is there so great who have Yahweh so nigh unto them, as Yahweh our power is in us, Salaki, in all things that we call upon him for? And what nation is there so great that have statutes and judgments so righteous as all this law which I set before ye this day? So the Lord gave the law, statutes, and commandments, this law of life, a heritage to us. He set these things to us that we may be beneficial. All right. It says, only take heed to thyself and keep thy soul diligently, lest I forget the things which thy eyes have seen. You know, all the miracles that the Lord did in Egypt for the nation of Israel, which are coming back around, you know, in this second Exodus, you know, us leaving America. unless they depart from them, Salaki, unless they depart from thy heart all the days of thy life, but teach them to thy sons and thy sons' sons. So this is what the children of Israel were supposed to spread to their sons, their children, and their children's children. But we have been in captivity. So what do we teach our children? As a people, we teach our people Easter, Christmas, Halloween, all type of madness, man. Tell them that they can eat pork, they can go to church. Tell them they can commit adultery. These women tell their daughters, man, they tell them test the waters, man. They tell them, when the scripture tells you that, the father chooses the man for his daughter, man, and he does that, and he set the woman up with the man, and the man don't want to put her away for all his days. That's how it's supposed to go, man. But in this society, we teach our people everything, man. Like Jake say, ass backwards, man. That's because we've been tricked on what righteousness is. We've been given a false sense of hope, man. Starting with that pale-faced picture of JESUS, man. It goes back to Serapis Christus, goes back to Cesare Borgia, man. All right. It says Isaiah 8:20. It says, to the law and to the testimony, if they speak not according to this word, it is because it is no light in them. And that's the truth. The scripture says, thou shalt not kill, thou shalt not murder. La Atharatazak, if I pronounce it right, in the Hebrew, don't put your neighbor to death for some wickedness. Hey, but in our laws and our language, when we was in the ancient world, if a man committed adultery, he was put to death. That's killing. That's not murder. We don't understand. The law, statutes, and commandments. What's happening, brother? We don't understand the law, statutes, and commandments of the scriptures. So as a people, that causes us to be perverted. All right. Now I'm gonna get another scripture. This is in the book of this is St. John. This is St. John 7 and verse 38. It says, he that believeth on me, as the scripture has said, out of his belly shall flow rivers of living water. Hey, man, with all this trickery, they deceived us, man. Esau, that's why the scriptures say the earth is given into the hands of the wicked. He covered the faces of the judges thereof, and not when who was he? Because Esau has been in power. He shed a bad light on the Bible. Yahweh Shai himself, who the world falsely called JESUS, he said, he that believeth on me, as the scripture has said, out of his belly shall flow rivers of living waters. And that's the truth. That's the true doctrine. All right. That's what living waters is. All right. But you got to believe on Yahweh Shai, the scripture has said. The world don't believe in Yahweh Shai, the scripture has said. They think about some pale-faced bastard that was so-called born on December 25th, man. Not the king, That's a so-called black man, for lack of better words, an Israelite from the tribe of Judah that came to save the 12 tribes, that came to put the other nations in slavery, according to his own words, Revelations 2 and 26. You know what I'm saying? Like that. Hey, Luke 19 and 27. He prayed. He said, thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven, man. What does that mean? Yahweh Shai has came to be a very righteous, noble king, man. But this land has to be destroyed, man. And if a man forgive anybody for everything, that's not a righteous king, man. If the Lord come and deliver these devils, these damn gooks, these Arabs, and everybody else who put us in slavery and made us a mockery, that's not righteousness. How the hell they gonna get it on both sides? But that's what the world teach you out the Bible, man. They don't teach the real Bible, man. But at the same time, hey, it's like that, man. Hey, this is 2 Thessalonians 2 and verse 6. It says, and know this, and we know, and now ye know what withholdeth, that he might be revealed in his time, for the mystery of iniquity doeth both already work. Only he who now letteth will let until he be taken out of the way. So Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai actually put this in the power of their hand to do, because he always knew the elect will wake up from that. That's why it says in the gospel, if it was so, even the elect should be deceived, but it's not possible. Paraphrasing that scripture. And then shall the wicked be revealed, whom the Lord shall consume with the spirit of his mouth and destroy with the brightness of his coming. And that's why we came back into this truth, because we're destroying this man right now with the brightness of his coming, starting with us waking up, being lights in the midst of this crooked and perverse generation, as the scripture says, and ultimately the Lord zapping this place with the chariots, the so-called UFOs, according to the Holy Bible, like what the prophet Elijah was beamed up with in 2 Kings 2:11. Even him whose coming is after the working of Satan with all power and signs and lying wonders, with all deceivableness and unrighteousness in them that perish, because they receive not the love of the truth, that they might be saved. For this cause Yahweh shall send them strong delusion, that they should believe a lie. Hey, so the Most High put it in the power of Esau to issue out all this trickery, and those that are not of the elect will be deceived and won't wake up to this truth. So, hey man, to hell with them. After 2 or 3 admonitions, reject. Hey, I give a nigga a few kibbles and bits. If he can't get it, he can't get it, man. It depends on how he respond, whether I'm going to dig with him or not. Other than that, shit, hey, you let him be, man. You don't chase no niggas around the corner and beat them over the head with the Bible. If they don't get it, they don't get it. But, hey, I just wanted to shed some light on this, man. Our people have been deceived, man, but that show you the importance of these, you brothers, the importance of these lessons, man. Our people still out here in madness, man, believing all type of philosophies and ideologies, man, and folklore and just BS, man, that Esau has socially engineered toward the downfall of our people, man. So the best way to attack this, man, is with this knowledge, man. Hey, these devils don't fear niggas riled up, bouncing around with guns. They give you guns to bounce around with in your ghetto, because they know you ain't gonna do shit but shoot each other with it, man. They use this truth, man, and push it, man, and break the change that was put on the minds of our people, the hopeful elect. But if a nigga can't get it, we'll see him in the kingdom. All right? Call Halalim, Yahweh Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai Ba'ashem, Rakah Kadash. Double honors to the elders and apostles that taught us this truth, and to the hopeful elect. Keep pushing, Hakim. Shalom.